Well, it's us versus them, the local challengers against the European-based Australians. This was the start some 2.5 hours ago.
3, 2, 1.
141 riders left the beautiful town of Buninyong. This is the start-finish for the first of 14 circuits. We're looking at 7 riders who have broken away, and they broke away very early. As we mentioned, this group has got a time gap lead of more than 5 minutes, and there are 2 chasers. Andrew Crawley from the GPM Wilson team and Danny Bonello from New South Wales representing the Parramatta Club.
Looking down the head of the peloton now, 2 riders trying to slip away as they start to speed down Gear Road towards the bottom of the road. There's still no signs, though, of the reversal, which is what the peloton will look for now. But there are signs that they are getting a little bit animated here.
Back to the front, it looks like James Mallett now. The wheels in the distance that are just going off the back. It's gone from 7 to 6 at the front, as it's Durbridge who is at the head of affairs, clawing his way towards the top of Mount Buninyong. As we're down to 4, and Blair Windsor just holding on in 4th position. Blair Windsor is going off the back as the Teletubbies step into the middle of the road to offer some support for the boy in yellow from the Budget Forklifts team.
Moments ago, Pat Shaw has cracked on the climb. We now have only 2 left of the original 7.
And reports that Jack Bobridge, who was trying to go across, has cracked from that chasing group. So the man that initiated it is showing the signs of what hasn't been a great start to the season, but still a long time to go in 2013. The guy's got plenty of class. But on the climb, Luke Durbridge knows that he has to get rid of Bernie Sulzberger and fill the gap is starting to open up. Durbridge is putting Sulzberger to the sword.
You can feel the pain here, but it looks as though this time Durbridge has just prized open the gap as he heads up the tough part of the climb of Mount Buninyong. Now, we conjecture that if they come round with a lead of about 1.5 minutes next time, they will survive to take the medals on. What a performance that would be. But it looks as though Luke Durbridge feels he has to go alone to win the gold and do the double.
And look at his body language. He is sensing the opportunity, because if it came down to a head-to-head sprint between Durbridge and Sulzberger, the money surely would be on Sulzberger. Durbridge doesn't want it to come down to that.
There's the peloton. There's quite a big group here, bigger than I would have expected at this stage of the race, but they're passengers. They're riding home. They're not driving this race for the catch anymore. There's big Matt Hayman. He made his move. It didn't work, and number 18 is now back in the pack. He hears the bell. He's been in the front since the opening kilometre of 196. He now has 10 left to ride.
As the bell sounds for Sulzberger, can he hold on and get that silver medal? Well, the chase is on in earnest with the Garmin Sharp squad. They're racing to try and get a spot on the podium. It may even be the silver medal. Surely now the gold medal has slipped through their fingers. 2 minutes and 18 seconds, the gap between Durbridge and the main peloton.
The crowd here are going to give him a roasting as he comes up now. They're going to love seeing this man, Luke Durbridge. He has dominated the championship. He's always looked so strong in the breakaway. Listen to the crowd now as he hits the hill for the last time.
And the size of the crowd, he could be racing anywhere in the world, but he's on Mount Buninyong as Luke Durbridge is encouraged by the corridor of noise. With the Tasmanian Sulzberger, the red colours of Drapac, gritting his teeth, desperately trying to hold on, but the peloton is closing in.
They're right up behind now, and it looks as though Sulzberger's big day won't happen.
And it is Cameron Meyer who is leading the charge with Darren Lapthorne just behind him. It could be a 1-2 for Orica Green Edge as Sulzberger, unfortunately, now has been caught.
This has been one of the most outstanding performances you could ever wish to see. There's the peloton. They race for silver still. He's saying... he's saluting his mum and dad, and I think his girlfriend there, and he's now, it's amazing, he's even got time now to just enjoy this last 2 kilometres of the day. He's running down towards the last kilometre. It's a dream come true.
The emotion is starting to overflow for the 21-year-old Luke Durbridge. He is going to do the double. Thanking mum and dad, he's underneath the arch, he's almost in sight. In fact, he can see the finish line now, Luke Durbridge.
400 metres to go. Let the crowd bring him home now as he just smiles all the way. He has done the double, for first professional to do this in Australia, having won the time trial and the elite road race. He shakes his head in disbelief. And now give him his moment as Luke Durbridge wins the Elite Championship of Australia.
Points to the jersey because the team have done so much work as well, riding defensively. He doesn't want to go across just yet.
Well, why should he be in any hurry at all? What an outstanding performance from mile point 1 kilometre in. 195 kilometres later, he is the champion. And now, Matt, the sprint for second.
This is the race for the minor placings. It's Heyman in the black colours who's got Sutton sucked in his wheel. The battle is coming through the middle as well. Dennis is still in the thick of the action. It's going to be desperately close for the silver medal. And it is Sutton who's coming over the top. The challenge is coming from Norris and also Morton trying to get into the thick of the action. But through to the Orica Green Edge, it is Michael Matthews. Makes the 1-2.
I wondered where he was. Well, we know now that was a huge effort. Michael Matthews got in there just ahead of Steele von Hoff and Neil van der Ploeg, that's a great ride by Neil van der Ploeg to finish in 4th. Chris Sutton will have been 5th and Jay McCarthy of Queensland crossing the line there in 6th place.
Durbo, congratulations. You got in the early breakaway. You can't have expected maybe to stay away, but you did, and you've won the first person to get dual titles. You must feel amazing.
Mate, cannot believe it. To be honest, like I get up the road and you just don't expect it, and I was just conserving. I got really nervous towards the end because Bernie Stolzberger is faster than me and so's Pat Shaw, and I just gave it as hard as I could up the climb, 3 to go, and got rid of Pat. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to do that again, and went as hard as I could up the climb again, and luckily got rid of Bernie, and then it was just a time trial to finish. And I couldn't have done it without my teammates, just covering all the moves back in the peloton. It all looks good, me taking the glory up the front, but without those guys covering, it won't be possible. For me to do this is I'm very emotional at the moment because it's I cannot believe it. I think this is my first road race I've won in like 3 years, and it's special, so special for me. And the Orica Green Edge team is such a great team, and couldn't be happier.
You're going through all sorts of pain those last few laps. Can you just run us through that?
I couldn't see straight up the climb. The last lap, I was just, crying internally pretty much, and I just every time I just had to get on my seat and just give as much as possible, and then just go again and then give as much as possible. But no pain, no gain. You don't win Australian titles without hurting yourself. So I knew I had to go deep, and I did, and it was a special moment.
You're 21 years old. You've just written some history because you're the first guy to do both titles. What more can you do? What can we expect next from Luke Durbridge?
Oh mate, I'm not setting any more. I'm not setting any goals in the near future. I'm just gonna just enjoy this moment, and you'll see. I'll settle down and see what I got to do after this. But to wear the national colours in both events in Europe is, can't believe it.
We saw you make a few gestures to Mum and Dad in the last few kilometres there. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, Mum, Dad, Emma, Rowan, girlfriend Lara, Simon, the whole, crew at Green Edge, Without those guys' support, dealing with all my December antics, and all that stuff. So, yeah, to those guys, it's this is just as much as for them as it is for me. So, it's such a special moment, and, hi, guys. Love you.
From Western Australia, the new Australian road champion, it is Luke Durbridge.
Well, Luke Durbridge, Michael Matthews and Steele von Hoff, first, second and third, gold, silver and bronze. With the green and gold jersey goes to the man in the middle, Luke Durbridge, 21 years of age. And what a delight, the future looking bright in Australian cycling.